Yeah. All right. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Resurgence YGO. Today I have the distinct pleasure, honor, and straight up excitement to be talking to one of my best friends, Alan, who recently earned his first top eight at a regional event. So, playing this list that you see in front of you. And yeah, Alan, do you want to just kind of go over the card by card real quick and just say what you're playing, and then we'll get into some questions and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Sure. So, um, yeah, let's see here. So we were playing, to no surprise, we're playing Mitsurugi Ryzeal. We have like a couple iterations of this deck on the channel already. Um, Kind of not too much has changed from the previous list. If we're going by the card for card, I kind of put it in a format that were like starters and then engine pieces and then non-engine. So for the starters, we had Habakiri, one Aramasa, one Saji, three prayers, and then for the Ryzeal starters, we had one bonfire, two ice, two sword, one X, and then sometimes you need another normal summon, so we played one Manju, and then we played three seven Tachyon. It's really good. You can get into either side of the engine. Three pre-prep, one Futsu, one Murakumo, one Ritual, one Mirror. Night Sword Serpent is good, um, just to also use as a four to get into Ryzeal combo if you wanted to. There's also another line that it's possible that to get into Ryzeal combo without using that, just using the ritual bodies. There's also I thought Cross was necessary, and also the Mitsuri Trap, both really good end board pieces that kind of help you just make your end board really, really good. The Node, one Kusanagi, and then for the non-engine, a called by. I went with three Ash, three Fua, two Bell. Bell's pretty good this format. Two Droll, three Droplet, and a Shifter at the main with a total count of 43.
Nice, nice. And then extra deck's looking pretty standard. Anything spicy in there that you want to bring up before we get into the nitty gritty?
Mm, yeah, I mean it's all pretty standard. I feel like since this is like the last event that Dracotail is real, I feel like Tornado Dragon is really good in the guard game against them. Just like as an end board piece, or like even you make it early if you don't want to like commit excite on that, you still want to try to kill them. I think Tornado Dragon's good to force out traps, with just two fours. Yeah, everything else is kind of standard. Um, yeah, I mean, some people choose Photon Lord over Hope Harbinger for either because Hope Harbinger is you got to pick between like because Photon Lord plays around a nib a little bit better. You can make Photon Lord pretty easily in under five summons with your ritual Mitsu bodies. But Hope Harbinger is just kind of felt kind of stronger in the metagame because you can use the Jugluxion to just go into the Hope Harbinger, which
Yeah.
is pretty nice.
And then the Dragluxion is your rank 8 bridge into Ryzeal, right? It's Search of 7
Yeah,
Tachyon.
yep,
Cool, cool.
pretty good.
And then for side, it looks like two thrust, deck devastation, eradicator, epidemic virus. It looks like a DDG, and then is that Wosu? Is that the name of that card?
Yep, yeah, it's a searchable kaiju.
Yeah, and then we got Bell, two Perulia, three Retaliating Sea, and three Evenly Matched.
Sure.
Yeah, so just kind of going kind of quickly over some in-depth stuff that I noticed when I was looking at this. You mentioned your non-engine lineup. I kind of want to highlight your hand trap lineup of three Ash, three Fua, two Droll, two Bell, and then one Shifter. Um, I have seen some people, including the other teammate that we have on our team that you played against, drop Ash and or Fua from their main deck. How did you feel about Ash and Fua in this event?
Ash and Fua, I think they performed pretty well when I drew them. I feel like Fua. I think Fu is still good. It really depends, like, because and when if you were to choose to drop like Ash and Fua, I feel like in that mindset your non-engine will just have to be breakers, right? And if your engine you feel like it's good enough to just be breakers, I think that's good. But I think the thing with the hand traps is like personally one, I like hand traps,
Hmm.
and two, like I feel like um, well, you could kind of have to just play Ash for the Fool loss, but I feel like Ash is never like that bad. I mean, it might be bad if it's your only hand trap, but it's mainly there also as like a going first card. So it's like good going first and going second. And
Right.
Fua usually will means that your opponent's end board is a lot weaker. And Mitsurugi Ryzeal has always been a good deck at just breaking boards because like X Ryzeal is still a card, right? So
Right. Right. And then go, before we get too much into it, like what were you expecting to play against at this regional? As this is like the regional before the ban list takes effect and things like that. Like what were you prepared to fight?
yeah, it was a really weird regional to prepare for because like you said, the ban list hadn't taken it was literally the day before the ban list took into effect. But then you still have the real decks that weren't hit yet, like Branded Draco Tail and Yummy Paws could still be played. But I was really expecting to play a lot of Branded Draco Tail, which is one of my least favorite decks to play against. But um, Branded Draco Tail, maybe just pure Branded because people love that deck, love fusion decks, and also Cool Tune. So yeah, those are the three decks I really expected to play, and I actually still have my the decks I did play. If you do want to go over those now or later, but
Yeah,
yeah, I think
yeah. We'll go over the matchups in a little bit. I want to talk more about the actual deck building part of this before we get too
yeah,
much into the matchups.
mhm.
How do you feel about Droll in this format?
Yeah, that's a really tough one, right? Because um, I just feel like into like into the best decks, it warrants enough. Like I still find value in Droll in no matter what deck I play, but like especially in this format, people say it's like bad into Cool Tune or into like just into pure branded. Yes, it can be pretty bad, but like putting Cool Tune, like I said, on like on a half board, or if they're not bad, but like if they only have access to just normal summoning a three, so like the Recco or the Mix, um, and they search and then you drill them there, then they don't get the double search from the track maker rotary synchro off.
Right,
I feel
right.
like it's really it does enough. Like that's a lot. Like
Yeah,
that's a lot of resources they're not getting. Um, so and it still hits like a lot of other rogue decks that are kind of I didn't encounter personally, but some members of our team did, like Enneacraft or like Clown Clan. Not that those decks were like super represented at the top tables, but there were still some, and there were still some earlier on in the tournament. So I think it's just still a good card overall. It's worth playing if you're doing a hand trap approach.
yeah, yeah, yeah. For sure, for sure. And then you mentioned it earlier, but you're on 43 in the main. What kind of led you down that path versus like just straight 40?
Okay, yeah. So I was saying, 43 in the main is I said I played a lot of variants of this deck. And I feel like I've done 40 and I've done like up to 45. And I
Hmm.
think because you play so many like one ofs that you want to see and you don't want to see, that like there's value in like having a little bit more cards in your deck to maybe see not the good one ofs, but still see some of the good one ofs. So like I thought it was worth going up on count a little bit, and it wouldn't hurt the deck too bad because it is like still kind of a you know, any deck in you know, you're gonna break, but like you still gotta draw like the good cards and hope you don't draw like a handful of like dead one ofs like more often than not, you know.
Right, right. So you think the deck was still plenty consistent without with while being at 43?
Yeah, I think throughout the entire tournament, I think I had non-playable like twice, and that's pretty good, honestly, for this deck.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'd say so. Just looking at like all the random one ups here, I'm like, yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned Manju earlier. why Manju over, say, like a second copy of Aramasa or something like that?
Yeah, I think Manju's cool. Aramasa is also good because like the argument for Aramasa is like you can also search it off the bodies, and then like it also can like do further consistency plays in itself. But I think Manju's cool because sometimes you have awkward hands in this deck where you have like either just the ritual monster or you could just straight up add. Like there's no like limit to Manju search. Like it still takes your normal summon, yes, but so do all the other fours.
Hmm.
But the thing is, Manju can search you that missing piece you need, like either it be a ritual monster or like mirror or ritual, depending on what you need, right? So I think it's cool in that its utility being pretty versatile.
Ah, fair enough. Fair enough. Um, it just sounds like a silly question to ask a deck that's playing Ryzeals, but like, how often do the other rank fours really come up? I'm talking the like Tornado Dragons, the Exitons, the Baguskas, stuff like that. Obviously, you're probably making like Duo Drive Detonator every time, but like, how often do those other rank fours come up?
Mm. And I'm realizing now, based on the picture I sent here, there's actually a change that the SPIP is actually one is the Dynamundo, and then one of the links would become a Daigusto Emerald. Um,
Mm,
but either way, I never summoned the Daigusto Emerald. In theory, it was just there to draw more cards, right? But let's see, the Exciton Knight comes up a lot because it's like a really good push, right? Because like people started playing it Branded Draco Tail because two fours to make a thing that blows up your whole board. It's like your opponent has to respond to it. So Exciton will
right,
always have value. Exciton's just crazy. Baguska is where in the spots of like if you know the matchup you're playing against and you know Baguska is stronger than like drawing two like post side with Dugaris or like making that tornado dragon or like yeah, certain like niche spots like that. I feel like I made Tornado Dragon maybe like twice against Brandon Dracotel players. Dugaris I'm making every turn, usually, if I'm going blind first, because drawing two is drawing two, you're never mad at that.
right.
Um, so I made Exiton a couple times for sure for pushes, but Guska didn't really make that much. You got to play 104 for seventh, and Tornado Dragon just a couple times. But yeah, that's kind of it.
Cool, cool. The next thing I kind of want to highlight is some of your side deck here. I mentioned earlier we got the thrust package, two thrust, a DDG, an EEV, and then the deck devastation virus. What is like? Why are we playing two thrust versus the three thrust? I understand like why we're playing the viruses and whatnot, but like, was it just a matter of like there were too many good cards and we had to cut the thrust, or what's the math behind that?
Yeah. I've always like I love thrust. Like I think thrust is a really cool concept of a card, and
Mm-hmm.
it was really good going first and going second this weekend. Um, it's just like the idea of drawing multiple thrusts and it being dead, like really I don't know. Personally, I don't like that. So the idea is two thrusts and the card itself equals three, and usually you want to play three of, right? And I know there's a logic of, oh, well, I just play three thrusts, so then I'll definitely see it. But that's just how I see it. So I see two thrusts plus the card I'm trying to get to is the three in my head. So that's why I stick to two thrusts, whether it be going first or going second. But yeah.
Interesting. And what matchups do the deck devastation and eradicator come up in?
Yeah, so the concept was the deck debut is purely just for Cool Tune. I thought it was going to be a lot more represented. I think it was. I just myself didn't encounter too much. But yeah, that should like it limits their options a lot if you get rid of a lot of their normal summons or their pushes.
Mm-hmm.
So Eradicator hits a lot of those monsters. And then Deck Devi, or that was Deck Devi. Eradicator is just for any deck that has a lot of power spells, or like so Sky Striker, or even the
Mm,
Mirror, right? Mitsurugi, or even Draco Tail. Shoot, I'll even take getting ripping a branded fusion out of the branded players. But I mean, in those matchups, like sometimes I would side both or just that plus because the DDG's the cover all right. It's just
right.
the generic. Like if I want to put it in right, it's like pretty good. But yeah, those are the matchups for those ones.
Cool, cool. And then evenly matched. This I think this is a card that is slightly catching on. But how did you feel about evenly matched as like your seemingly only board breaker out post side?
Yeah, yeah. I think evenly match is great. Every time I drew it, I felt really good.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because either my opponent wasn't expecting it, or the second I said end of main, they have that look in their eyes, right? Like they
Right.
don't know what to do, or they're like, well, what am I giving up, or what effects do I need to do now so I don't lose all my resources? I don't know. Evenly's just been like that board breaker. It wasn't that great. Like I feel like it wasn't that great. Maybe like the majority of this like last year until like probably a little bit more recently. But like it's just a breaker that needs to be respected, right? And I always like the idea of evenly droplet. It's just so good in combination.
Yeah.
It performed well. It did what it needed to do. It either forced stuff out or it resolved it put me in a much better winning spots.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder if there's a world where we hit a point where Yu-Gi-Oh players just like post side, they just go standby main battle and like try to force stuff out, even if
Yeah, yeah,
they're like just bluff the evenly. I think
yeah,
that's a cool concept.
yeah,
So the next thing I want to talk to you about, OCG we saw a lot of Mitsurugi post Blazing Dominion, um, and we're still seeing it, and it didn't get hit on the ban list at all, but like you and Sarkis both of you guys took a very unique approach, different from what we've been seeing, in the fact that you're playing the Ryzeals, versus what we're kind of seeing is catching on of more like Dominus, Impulse, and Spark, as well as Harmonia. What kind of led you down the road of valuing the Ryzeals so highly?
yeah, for sure. One factor was definitely comfortability. Like I've been
Mm-hmm.
playing this deck like a really, really long time, literally since like
True.
the last team YCS. But another factor is that like I mean the Ryzu's in themselves, like one, they're kind of underdogs nowadays, even though like they were like the deck, right, when it was full
Mm-hmm.
power. But the fact that like, you still normal summon or you special summon one of the Ryzeal bodies, and then the fact that they synergize so well with the Force still, right? It's just like it's kind of a no-brainer. It's just like I feel like people still just like undervalue how much a detonator is a presence in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like he would just apply so much pressure. Like I think I won a couple games with just I had detonator and some hand traps, and yeah, it felt like I was playing just Ryzeal. Um, but I just chose that because I feel like comfortability and also like I think the pushes are still really good into the metagame. This like mixed metagame that was Salem regionals.
Right.
I liked the Branded Draco Tail matchup. I liked the Cool Tune matchup in testing. Like Detonator just checks their normal summon if they want to use their effects, and if they don't use their effects, I have Murakumo. I didn't play Doomsy, but like I felt like I would have been okay in that matchup. And Elfno, Elfno. It also checks their stuff when they use their effects because they're trigger effects, and then you just go Detonator, and then they're like, well, okay. So I just feel like, yeah, for this, like I don't know how well good it's going to be going for in the further, but I think it was a great meta call for this weekend of a blend of past and future formats.
Yeah, yeah. So it really just boils down to Detonator is just that guy.
He really is. Yeah, Detonator was that guy.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I was not familiar with this game.
Right.
That makes me want to sleeve back up some Magnet Warriors. Um, this is a very common question you hear in almost any deck profile or anything. But were there any cards that you felt underperformed, or they're just like cards like what would you change if you were to redo this tournament?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Um, let's see here. Honestly, now that I kind of like look at it in hindsight, it might be it probably is correct to cut the Night Sword because I know like a lot. Like I don't need the four. The extra four is nice, but like you can do everything, whether you just open Mitsu or just Ryzeal and bridge into the other one without the Nine Sword Serpent nowadays. So that could increase sort of my consistency and drop the like one more dead card from my deck.
That's fair.
So definitely cutting that.
Do you play a Starlight?
Um, yeah, it was a Starlight.
So I mean,
Had to be
I
a
don't know.
Starlight.
It's kind of a wash. You're playing your super shiny card still.
Yep, it's true. It's true. That's a valid point. Um, Droplet was awesome. Shifter was awesome when I drew it. I mean, I don't think I would change literally any of the non-engine. I think all the non-engine is fine. And quite frankly, I liked having, even though like Cross and the Trap in the main deck are like kind of breaks in a sense, I still feel like they were really good to play both in the deck. I think it was necessary to to like have a really solid end board, um, even if you got stopped one way or another.
Yeah.
In the extra. Um, I don't know. I don't really think there's like I'm trying to think of a Xyz or a Link that I would rather have because as like I said like SBIP that I used to play like for the 3v3 it changed to Dynamundo and Daigusto Emerald. The Dynamundo is really good in itself. When you just have Mitsu stuff and it can be like it does what kind of like SP does. It like two removals in a sense, but they're a little
Right.
bit more layered. Um but I mean the Emerald kind of really never came up. Maybe that could be something else, like maybe a Typhon or like I don't know, maybe another utility card. But yeah, everything else was fine. And then I think the side was perfect for the weekend. I really wouldn't change anything about the side. I thought it was really well crafted for this event.
Yeah. 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 So going into your matchups, maybe don't go into like every single matchup, but if you just remember some key points or some cool things that you did, or just maybe talk about each round a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Let's see. So, round one, played K9 Banker Soul. It was 2-1. I think won the die roll. It was a pretty good grinding matchup. Not, I'm trying to think like what was highlighted or that matchup. I feel like is always just kind of good for Mitsu in general, just because like Murakumo being able to nuke the bodies and stuff like that. Um, I just remember like hitting his Joko with the trap in game three. Really, we were talking after the game because he's a guy I played at other premier events, but he was like, "Yeah, I need my Joko to go through," and I was like, "Yeah, that's why I had to trap it." um, Round two, I played Gem Knight. That was really interesting. I was really thrown off because he won the die roll and he made me go first, and I was taken aback a bit. But
You're
I
expecting a tempai.
yeah, and I kind of, it's like a soft brick, right? Because it was a really good going second hand, so I kind of passed it back to him. But I think he still killed me, but I still managed to get the following two games, so that was good. The third round I played Brandon Dracotel. It was just not a great. I lost it, or I won the die roll, but I bricked completely. And then yeah, he just killed me. And then the second game, I opened Saji and Aramasa, and unfortunately, in that deck, that is a death sentence when it's your only play.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, even though I shifted him, but he still had Ashbell. Round four, I played KT. It was a good grind game. Won that one. Round five, played Pure Branded. 2-1. Oh man, Brandon is just no matter what deck I play, man, Brandon's grind game is just so good. I really think it's like a good contender for next format, like top two decks, man. It might be that guy, but we'll see. The future has to tell. Round six, I played Branded Elf Note, 2-1 against a good buddy of ours from locals, Hank. It was a really good match. Went to game three, but he unfortunately didn't open any non-engine game three. He Branded Elf Note, don't sleep on that deck, guys. It has a lot of pushes. Like I hand trapped him four times game two. It's like Fua, Ash, Droll, Bell, and then I had pre-prep. We played through all of it, and he still Mega Meat ripped my pre-prep. And if he didn't
No.
do that, I was definitely winning. But I still won the match. It was a really good match. Round seven was against the boys Sarkis on Mitsurugi Azumina. I won't say too much. He can talk about it a little bit more, but we had a really good match that came down to the wire. Um, but yeah, the grind was sick. It was a really good grind game. We actually had a judge ruling because Sarkis just started playing Mitsurugi, but he forgot. when he went to I summoned back Murakumo and nuked his board. He had IP, Kusanagi, and I think a Futsu on board. And he was trying to say that the Kusa could protect the Futsu from destruction, so he's just trying to tribute the Kusanagi. But I know from previous ruling, because it was ruled against me, that since they are all marked for destruction at the same time, it cannot protect it. So
Right,
if
right.
it's like a board wipe type of effect, they cannot be protected. And he was like, "Oh," which is fair. I mean, guy literally started playing the deck like a couple days ago, like before the event, and he still did amazing. So big shout outs to Sarkis. It was a great match. And then round eight, Brandon Dracotel. I was a little shook up from like how good our matches before and how close it was, and the fact that like I knew I was already in a position to kind of get like do really well at this event because it's like something like I've been sought after for like with the boys. Like actually like shout out to Caleb, like Austin, Nico, Grant, like our whole testing sort of Sarkis. Like um like everyone knows we play this game a lot. Like we want to play it to have fun with our friends, like stay connected. But it just meant a lot that everyone was super happy for me. And yeah, because I could hear Austin cheering for me. That guy like blew, like when standings were posted, that guy yelled for like literally 3 minutes out loud and turned everyone's head in the venue. It was crazy. It was crazy. But
For
yeah,
for
I
those who don't
lost.
know, Austin is the loudest motherfucker on the face of the planet.
No, he really is. He really is. He might be tame on the podcast, but he's crazy if you meet him in person. I lost to Brandon Dragontail. It was a pretty good match against a player named John Hamby. Really notable player. He does really well in like PNW events. But I lost because in game three, I was just tired. It was a long day, and he set a card an unknown, and I saw him set a sting when he went first, and it wasn't like a crazy board. I definitely was breaking it, so I pushed through all the interaction, and it came to a point where I had X'd Mitsurugi, Ritual, and Murakumo in hand, and I went X'd, and I forgot which one was the unknown because I'm pretty sure I knew the unknown was Dracotail Flame, and I did not Valon because I went summon X, sending Valon, X1 search Valon 2 to destroy a set card, and I hit the sting because I forgot which one was the flame and the sting. And if I hit
Mm.
the flame, my Murakumo ritual goes through, or my Mitsurugi ritual goes through. I summon Murakumo and I kill him that turn. But yeah, because I hit the sting, I was just cooked on the spot because my last push was ritual and he flamed it. And yeah, that was that. But overall, amazing tournament. Great memories, good times.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I think John Hamby didn't he end up taking like third or something?
He got second. He got second.
Second. So
Mhm.
really, you took second.
Next time. That's okay.
Yeah.
You got to keep aspiring for higher.
There we go. There we go. Well, kind of wrapping up here. How do you expect the deck to change post ban list into the new format?
Honestly, if anyone else keeps playing Ryzeals, I'll commend you. I, in theory, it's still fine. I just don't think it's gonna do what it did because it's like I don't know. I don't know. You really could still play the deck into the upcoming format that's gonna change a lot because now the ban list is in effect and a lot of things are changing. But I I think there are better variants of Mitsu
Mm-hmm.
um that aren't my deck, and that's okay. And I think Sarkis's approach is really good for the next format as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys should stay tuned and definitely watch his like profile and listen to his thoughts about the deck. Even though he just started, the guy's a monster, bro. Like the guy, you might know him on our channel as just the water boy, but that guy can play some good Yu-Gi-Oh, and he got the deck so fast, and he's already fallen in love with it.
Yeah, yeah. He went from the wettest boy to making them wet.
Yep, exactly.
Um, do you think that this deck is sleeper good, or is it really just come down to the pilot?
Um, it's definitely like, hmm. I wouldn't say sleeper because everyone knows Mitsu's still like because one and like we already said, it's not even hit on the ban list at all. So Mitsu's still crazy.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, but like I'm talking about Mitsu Ryzeal specifically, because I mean, like you said, this isn't the first time that's showing up on the channel, and like, but you're not seeing it anywhere else. Like, it's
yeah,
just localized to Resurgence YGO.
yeah. Um, it was played a little like I saw it get like a couple tops of like I think South American nats and stuff like that. But I don't know. I think it's more sleeper. Like because of how old it is or like the longevity of the deck and the fact that people are still playing it, I think it's sleeper good because it's an underdog. And when people see the Ryzeal, they're like, "Oh, that's that's neat." And that's they need to be respected though for sure.
Yeah,
Like you can't
sure.
sleep on like you can definitely get wrecked by Mitsurugi still.
Right. And then my last question, and this is why I've kind of been hesitant to do anything Ryzeal, but do you think that Ryzeal is a liability into Cool Tune? Just because like they have so many ways to rip like your boss monster out of your extra deck, and you can only play one.
Mm, it is, but like I've been doing testing with Cool Tune as well. It's just like if they're doing crackle stuff on first action on your turn, or if they luck sack your one Dedo, and you play two duo anyways, if you're always playing Ryzeal, then they're just that guy, man. Or if they're committing so much and they know you're just going to try to rip your detonator. Honestly, I wouldn't be scared. I think pure Ryzeal, yes. I would never play pure Ryzeal in today's metagame. But like, if you have something else with Ryzeal, I think it's perfectly fine. You know, I think it's okay. I
That's
think
fair.
Crackle's just there for scare factor. It's not like
Yeah,
too
I
great.
guess when it comes down to it, if they're crackling, that means they're not furthering their plays; they're just stopping you from doing your plays.
Yeah,
And like with the at least with the Mitsurugis, like you don't really care if they're hitting anything in your extra deck, really.
exactly, exactly.
So, well, that's all I got, Alan. Thank you for coming on, and congratulations again on what was it, fifth or sixth?
I got fifth. Sarkis got sixth.
Okay, well, yeah, just amazing showing from the boys, and I mean, still out here kicking ass, and still normal summoning Ice Ryzeal in the year of our Lord 2026.
Yep.
And yeah, stay tuned for Sarkis's deck profile. But once again, just congratulations, Alan. And yeah, anything you want to shout out or any last words you want to put out there before we wrap this up?
Yeah. Shout out to Caleb. He just moved and he's recording this right now. And we wish he was back with us. We miss him a lot. Shout out to all the guys. Like I said, like we were literally up the night before testing, with like Grant, um, Sarkis, Austin, Nico, honorary member Hank. But yeah, I mean, and like shout out to our local areas, man. People might sleep on the PNW, we got like a couple renowned names, but don't sleep on Resurgence. We're on the come up. Like our run from since top 32 at Vegas is it's been pretty good. So expect big things at Seattle.
Yeah, Sarkis today he was like, yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to this interview thing because don't take it the wrong way. I've recorded a lot of deck profiles recently, and I was like, oh no, suffering from success. But
Yeah, yeah.
soon Alan's going to be saying the same thing. He's like, can I just like make a Facebook post instead?
Yeah, I mean that's why I feel like that's why Grant like did his PowerPoint S style one when he first like got that like his second place with this deck back in Seattle a while ago. But no, it's good. I like switching it up once in a while, and I feel like people would like to hear these kind of thoughts rather than just your standard deck profile once in a while.
Yeah, for sure. So, let us know down below what you think about the deck profile and the interview style, and make sure you smash that subscribe button,
Yes,
and
sir.
leave a comment down below on what you want to see next, and leave a comment if you want to see Austin's Aneacraft deck profile. I don't even know if
Oh
he's
my
playing it, but like,
god.
who
Oh
knows?
god.
So,
Oh dude.
until next time. Do we have a tagline for Resurgence? Resurge the Henny.
Yeah, that's the one.
There we go.
All right. Peace, peace.